Well, good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning for me on January the 8th. Um, as we can see, I am putting some investment into Carbine. I really think he could be a fun unit for Giants, as well as I did. So I 6-starred both of these units. I just 6-starred Bella this morning and Carbine this morning. And just going through the Dimensional Rift to try and just power level them up to get them a decent amount of stats, so that they can hopefully survive a little bit longer. But just just a quick recap of what I've been doing for the last couple days is I've been creating more food to 6-star my units, as well as I have been farming Giants B8. So I did just put one new rune on Bella this morning because her accuracy was an abysmal 12, I think. I was able to get 8 more accuracy on top of that, so she's now at 20%. No, still terrible. So hopefully her strip should be a lot more reliable in Giants, though 20% is still pretty low. Though the accuracy cap, or the accuracy requirement in Giants is not that intensive. So 20% could be enough. Because what I'm trying to consider is tweaking my team around a little bit, taking out Koniyama, keeping in. So basically, I'm taking out my cleanse and a secondary heal, leaving all my healing to Bella, relying on the defense buff from Shannon as well as the strip from Bella and the attack break from Royd still. So those are my hopes for working on B10s for Giants B10. But let's go through the runes. This was the main thing that I wanted to get to, was how to pick runes, how to keep runes, how to look for cohesive stats, and that was terrible damage. So let's see what we got. So I am going to turn the auto run on in the background. So we're going to go Giants, 8, go. Oh, this was something I was just testing out for 10, and I forgot to change it back. Just because, Mantura's got that AoE defense break, it can help to speed up the runs. As you can see right here, clearing the waves for Lapis. But let's go ahead and take a look at the runes that we got to drop. So as you can see, not that many runes, but some runes. Some of these runes I already had, but let's go through anything. So let's actually go by power up level. So I'm not super keen on anything that's 4-star. So I'm actually just going to select the mass sell button, and I'm going to go through these runes. So I don't like, for Despair, on a blue rune having crit rate. I also don't like having the accuracy in the innate, just because oftentimes with Despair runes you're putting them on a support unit that has other debuffs, so like Shannon, or you could put them on Tyrone. Mantura is a unit where he has dots, slow, defense break, and on Despair, because he's got 2 AoE skills, it's very beneficial, so you still need that accuracy. But also there's no HP. There's not a lot of sustained quality here with this rune. The same thing here. Resistance, crit rate, those two things do not go together. Crit rate, HP, it's still a 4-star rune. I would prefer seeing like speed HP or accuracy HP. Here we have speed, but we have resistance and crit damage and a low accuracy roll in the innate, so I'm not going to keep this. Speed and attack with resistance. no, not great. Crit rate, attack, those are good substats for a Fatal Rune, but this is 4-star and you have a low roll into that crit rate. You do have what looks to be a max roll into that attack percentage, but again, one of the things that is the most beneficial early game is crit rate over those other subs, because you're going to be getting the majority of your attack percentage from your slot 2 or your slot 4, not slot 2 or slot 6. That slot 4 should prioritize that crit rate early game. So I'm going to sell that one. So here's a 5-star rune. Speed in the innate. Flat HP and attack percentage. I'm not thrilled with that, so I'll sell that. So this could be nice. I'm going to hold on to this for, re-runing a DPS unit. So a DPS unit that might need a little bit more tankiness before we get into those HP artifacts. So I'll keep that. Here again, crit rate, attack. This could be a nice rune for Lapis. However, Lapis does need she does need some speed, but she also, that resistance innate is kind of not a happy thought for me. So I'd rather not waste the mana on powering this up to see if what that plus 12 is going to be. So the stats that I would like to see on a beginning roll for a rune like this for Lapis or any other DPS style unit or damage style despair unit is going to be speed and crit rate, and then speed or HP. You don't have to, in those substats, you want to look for more of the tankiness than the additional damage early on. So that's why I'm also going to be selling this. Speed, HP, crit damage. I don't like the crit damage, but I like the speed and HP. So we will actually keep that, and we'll roll that in a minute. So I rolled this because every day you need to roll a rune for one of your dailies. It did go into flat HP, but that's still not that bad. We have speed, we have HP percent, and we have flat HP. I like this rune. I am definitely going to keep this rune. So here was a blue 4-star rune. I believe I got one roll into each of the stats, so that's just a nice rune to hold on to. Double speed roll here, I believe. No, yeah, because that's a max starting roll for resist, and then double speed rolls. Alright, so we're done with our slot 1s, so I'm going to sell these, and there's almost 100,000 mana. Alright, so let's continue on. Alright, so down here we've got Focus, slot 2 speed, which is nice, but it's 4-star, so we're at, I think, 36, 37 cap speed. But we have crit damage and attack. So this would be a unit that needs some sort of accuracy. So let's say you're building like a Martial Cat, Wind Martial Cat, and if you're planning on 2Aing her, this could be nice because she does have attack gauge reduction and branding on her skill 2. She's got a stun on her skill 1, and seeing as though she does not need crit rate at all once she's 2A'd, or even before, if you have enough debuffs on the boss, she will get 100% crit rate. So this would actually be a perfect rune for her. I'm not planning on building her as of yet, so I'll just wait for some better runes. So this is something that I will sell. Right here could actually be a nice Lapis rune. Or just a nice Despair slot 2 attack rune, because I've got that HP, I've got that speed, and we can hopefully get accuracy elsewhere. So I'll hold on to that. Speed, accuracy on a blade rune. Early on, I would really like to see additional crit rate on a blade rune, because that 12% is going to be a nice little boost, but your rolls into crit rate are likely going to be so low that you need crit rate on it. Additionally, because it's a blade rune that's going to go on a damage dealer, and there aren't too many soul damage dealers that need accuracy in that way. I did just discuss Naomi, but Naomi's a special case because she doesn't need another stat. usually your damage dealers are going to be low on accuracy because you want to stack them with the damage. So I'm going to sell this. I am going to sell this. It is a 5-star speed rune, but it has no stats that can really go onto another unit, because I would rather a different set bonus than a broken set at this point. Flat. I'm going to sell that. Okay. Speed on an energy set, so I can get some HP and defense. So this could actually go onto Royd. This would be very nice. So I'll keep that. I actually bought this from the Magic Shop. I bought this from the Magic Shop because it's got great opportunity. I can roll one into each, nice all-around rune. I could get a double into crit rate, and then it could go on to a damage dealer. I could do, double or split into HP defense, and it can go onto a tanky unit. There's a hard way to go with this rune. There's no bad way to really go with this rune except for low rolls. So I'll keep that. And so this could be nice if we get 1 or 2 rolls into crit rate. Because it's swift, you can actually not deal with having a slot 2 speed. So if you can get a little bit of speed in your substats, you can let the 25% speed bonus kind of give you the speed you need to outpace the ads, or the mobs in Giants. So I'll keep that for now. This could be nice for a damage dealer. You got crit rate, you got crit damage on a speed, you get it in any defense, you got some accuracy, which, as I've said before, is sometimes needed, sometimes not for damage dealer. Depends on who you're using. Yep, this can be a very nice rune. So this could be a nice rune for Fran. So one of the downsides or the restrictions on using Fran as your primary healer is you do still need attack percentage. You need to make her thick, so primarily you're going to want to go speed, HP, so that she can survive the hits, because she's a 3-star, her base stats are pretty low. But her healing is based off of her attack percentage. So unless she has an attack buff, which if you pair her with Shannon, even though you'll have 2 attack buffers, Shannon has a 3-turn attack buff as opposed to Fran's 2-turn, so she should hopefully always have something, but you would want to have that attack percentage or that additional attack on her in order to make her a viable healer. So definitely keeping that. I kept this because it rolled double crit rate. It's hard to tell because it's 8%. And then what we got here? And then this is just a slot 2 HP that we're gonna sell. So we'll sell those. Another 40,000 mana. So if you don't go through your runes as they're dropping, this is how you can go through your runes after the fact. I think that this is a big major piece in most all content that's put out there of going through runes. I know there are some crafting videos of other content creators saying, okay, hey, this is that, but those are farther and few between, and they're typically not reflected towards what's actually going to be used in an early game situation. It's, oh, I would use this or I would use that, as opposed to seeing somebody actually keep them. So that's why I wanted to go through these steps here. Alright, so next is our slot 3s. So I can actually do that. Alright, so I had this from when we were farming for those shield runes at the very beginning, because those shield runes have actually been very helpful because my units were, 4-star, 5-star. They still have basically the same rune sets, but I've been able to level them up. To most of them are 6-star now, so they've been able to get an increase in base stats and therefore all the stats on their runes are even more effective. So, going to be phasing away from the shield sets to just more pure stats for survivability. Defense accuracy, it's a 4-star rune. I'm not too thrilled with that. This is a legend rune, but you got crit rate, crit damage, and then flat HP and defense with a resistance innate. So nothing really at all that we would care about. I wouldn't mind if the stats were a little bit better. Maybe if we had HP percent instead of the flat HP and a couple higher rolls on the defense percent, to use this for Roy to try and give him a little bit more damage within his kit, because he is HP scaling. But this is going to be a sell. This was either from the daily rune box that you get for completing giants, or this was actually from some of the dragons runs that you get forced to do. So one of the things that I would like to see different in the entire beginning grind process of the game is better gating of those the daily bonus quests. So I don't think Rift Raid should be open before you get past a certain point. I think there should be a different gate to open up Rift Raid. I don't have the runes for raiding, even like level 1 raiding, or even Rift Beasts. I don't think those should be gated behind clearing the basic story mode. I feel like that should be gated behind something else. Maybe behind a certain level of TOA, maybe behind clearing TOA normal the first time. That may be a little bit much. It could be, when you have cleared, Giant Speed 10 or Giant Speed 12 now, because I think before that you don't have the rune quality for it, for sure. Like, I haven't even attempted Rift Beast because I know I'll get like F rank on everything. So why should I even have the availability to do that? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources, and pretty soon the homunculus opportunity will open up for me, and I feel like that gives a false sense of, oh, I should be working towards this now, when really your time is better spent in giants, just farming more runes, as well as in scenario creating more fodder for leveling up units. So I'm going to keep this because Revenge runes are nice for if you get into Necro, for when you get into Necro. And it's 5-star, it's got crit rate, crit damage, so it can be a pretty versatile rune. And within the mechanics of Necro, you don't need a lot of speed. So speed is not one of those necessary factors, which is often why you're able to go from Giants to Necro and then to Dragons. But that's all on you. So defense resistance, don't like that. Accuracy resistance with crit rate innate. I'll keep that because of the accuracy, though I'd prefer to see accuracy HP. This is HP, crit rate, defense. I'll see how this rolls in terms of the crit rate. You cannot get attack percentage on slot 3, as well as you cannot get defense percent on slot 1. It's a weird little quirk of the game that the developers put in the very beginning. My feeling is that they were planning on restricting other rune slots to exclude certain stats, but they just maybe decided after the fact that they didn't want to do that. Alright, so here's speed, flat HP, so I'll roll that for the speed. It's a shield rune. I think I got this from either Magic Shop or from Dragons. I'm gonna roll it for the speed. So here's a crit rate, crit damage, defense. I would be rolling this for high crit rate rolls. If I get anything else, I'd be selling it. I would would likely roll this simply for the HP. I will roll this for the HP and accuracy. So this is actually a pretty nice rune for, a tanky unit. If you have another resistance set, that way, someone like Royd or even Bella would benefit well from this, so that she does not get defense broken, so that she can get those strips on much more readily. Same thing with Royd for his attack break, defense break, and his attack age reduction. This is a beautiful rune. I mean, it's max HP roll, and it's a one-off max and speed roll. So my hope in this rune would be either one max roll into each, or a double roll into speed. And then this was nice just because you had, it's 6-star, it's HP, it's defense, it's resistance. It's really nice. Yeah, this is nothing super special. I'll sell that. This was a crit rate, crit damage roll, so I'll hold on to that. So let's go ahead and sell. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing the last few days. I wanted to save up some runes. I'm not gonna go through every single one of them. So at this point, all these flat stats, 620, there we go, okay. All these flat stat rolls are just going to be auto sells. Because my units are mostly 5 and 6 stars, the flat stats have lost their edge, and the percent stats are going to take the priority. So I'm just going to get back to leveling up my new 6-star units. He's almost there. And then the next 6-star is actually going to be my Mentora, because I have 6-star 2 water units, 2 wind units, 1 light unit this morning, so I can still do a dark and a fire for the initial initial power up bonuses. As you can see, I am still doing the powering up the 1-star units to then turn into 2 stars, to then power up 2-star units, to then push those to 3-star, and then I'll push those 3 stars, max those, push them to 4, and just keep making food to increase the number of 6-star units I have. That's going to be like your primary objective within these first 15 days. So I still have 7 days, 6 hours left on the blessing, and you really want to take advantage of that double XP all the time. You can get even more XP, slightly more, by using your friend reps in scenario farming. You cannot use the auto replay feature for that. I am still farming Terramore Desert right now. I don't need any more Inugamis because I do have Beladion capped out with skill ups. So I am still in Terramore because I do want to get. How many do I have currently? Actually, I've got 5, so I might actually start working on the materials for leveling these guys up. And then I do have 6 Wind Griffins over here, to where if I wanted to 6-star Bernard, I could. I will likely just wait, and if I just noticed... Ooh, Magic Shot Briefer. Ooh. See, at 500,000 mana, that's not worth it for me right now. I've got 2.1 million. There's no speed. I'm not going to take that. Do I have a... I do not have a Spectre yet. Fire Griffin. So I'll likely save those skills to be food for him. These are going to be nice units for Necro, eventually. Nice monster for dragons. You could technically use him in Giants. He's not the greatest, but because of how the crystals, the side crystals, are element neutral and not water units. You can use a fire unit to focus, fire unit turn 1, to damage those side crystals to then focus the rest of your team on it. And then if it's, because Verd is very good at turn cycling, you'll likely get another round of turns before the enemies go, so that you can attack that second crystal, and then you won't really have to deal with that. You can do that with Roke as well. Roke, the Fire Inugami, is really good for helping with cooldown reduction. He also has defense break skill 1. If you have other units that have defense break on skill 1, it's a nice way to pair that up. So I think that's about it. I have cleared level 50, Trial of Ascension. That was a pain. I did manual it. I took out the Fire Bears first, and I just worked my way in. I was trying to remember if I went for the Fire Bears or the Dark Elven Rangers. The Dark Elven Rangers are a pain because they will... Actually, I probably did them first. I'm pretty sure I did them first. And I just tried to CC the ads. So, Mantura is my only unit on Despair. And then, I had my defense buff. I had my reduction. So I was really dependent on those Despair stuns. Because otherwise you can have the monkey as well as those Dark Elven Rangers coming at you all at once. So the monkey doesn't revenge when he's hit, and neither do the Elven Rangers, but the monkey has the 35% chance 35% chance to counterattack when any of his allies are damaged. But those Dark Elven Rangers will counterattack anytime one of their allies is attacked. So focusing those Elven Rangers first will actually mitigate your damage. And then once you clear those two, then take out the Warbears, because those Warbears are trying to taunt you, and then they put up a revenge buff, so it can become a very damaging cycle if you get caught into it. So I'm going to continue on that, but right now I'm having to farm up my arena points. I'm one power up away from clearing through, and then it's like I'm in a guild. I'm ready to clear Magic 10. I can clear Dragons V7, so I'm gonna have to run that for a little while, and then I'll be able to clear. I've cleared Giants V10 already. I'll likely have to clear it again, but then I'll get my 750 crystals, because I have been maintaining pretty low on my crystals. I mean, just refreshing and refreshing for running Giants or running Scenario. The energy doesn't last forever. The free energy doesn't last forever. And then after that, we'd be getting into Summoner's Way level 3 for that wonderful Transcendence Scroll, but we'll have to, I believe, clear TOing normal by the end of level 3 in order to get that. But with that, I have no summons, which is fine, because I'm almost there in LD pieces. But that's it for today. Hopefully I kept this nice and short. Tried to. If there's any questions you guys have, something I did just remember. I thought I summoned... Did I not? Oh, I may have put him over here. Oh, it's because was I sorting by monster? Nice braid. Oh. For some reason I thought I summoned... Oh, it was over here. I'll take some free energy. Okay, so I'm holding out for Tyrone. But Chilling is actually a pretty nice unit. not just for giants, but also for dragons. He has a passive for stealing beneficial effects, so you can steal the giant's attack buff. He can also steal the dragon's immunity, and he's got a triple hit skill 1 in order to do that. He does have a buff skill 2, which is crit rate and attack speed. Both of those things are beneficial for both giants as well as dragons. It can become a bit of a problem for dragons, just because you may need to steal the immunity, but then he ends up buffing instead. So running double strips for dragons would be beneficial, but he's not a bad unit for giants, especially if you're going the route of damage units over dot units, which, just with the way that my summons went, that's the way that I'm going, is damage over dots. Dot unit Orochi, the Wind Ninja, would be really awesome. He does dot skill 1, he does dot skill 3, and he does attack gauge reduction skill 2. But we are still waiting for Tyrone to pop out, because I'm wanting him for TOA. I'll have to start working on my Mav as well, but that is the progression I have thus far. I imagine shortly, hopefully, I will be able to have some promising results from a Giant Speed 10 perspective. And like I said before, I have been running Dimensional Hole. I've not been letting my energy cap out. I've been putting it into Beladion because he is a great unit to Second Awaken. I haven't decided what unit I will use after him, but I'm only running level 2, so it'll be a while. That being said, for like the third time, I will see you guys next time. If you have any questions, if you want to have me try something a little different, or if you are confused on why I am doing something, feel free to ask. Happy to answer, and leave any questions in the comment section. Have a great day, everybody.